Well, James Lee Williams, who was better known as the drag star, the Vivienne, died from a cardiac arrest caused by the effects of taking ketamine, according to their family today. The performer's sister, Chanel Williams, said her family continue to be completely devastated by the death of the 32-year-old and will be working with a substance abuse charity to raise awareness of the dangers of the drug. The RuPaul's Drag Race UK winner was found dead at their home in Cheshire in January, with celebrities and fans around the world paying tribute, and an inquest is scheduled to take place in June. Cheshire Police said that there are no suspicious circumstances surrounding the performer's death. Simon Jones, Williams' manager and close friend, said the family felt it was important to share the circumstances of their death. He said, "I hope by us releasing this information, we can raise awareness about the dangers of ongoing ketamine usage and what it can do to your body." Williams, who grew up in Colwyn Bay in North Wales before moving to Liverpool, won the first series of RuPaul's Drag Race UK in 2019 and went on to have a varied career in TV and theatre. They later became the only queen from a UK series to compete on the US version of Drag Race All Stars. Now, ketamine is something that most of us think of as something that horses use, and yet it has become the drug of choice of many in this country. And we see from the death of James Lee Williams the tragic consequences of being addicted to a drug like ketamine, and the awful situation that their family find themselves in now. And I think for anybody who hasn't experienced drug abuse within a family, or the end result of drug abuse, which can obviously result in tragedies like this, I don't think we can have any idea of what that puts a family through. And that's the point of this hour, really, because I think it almost pays tribute to James Lee Williams to do this hour. Because if the family hadn't come out and said this today, I suspect I wouldn't be doing it, because you might think, well, it's a bit soon. But I think we have to understand the dangers, not just of being addicted to ketamine, but any drug. I don't want to talk about whether drugs should be legalised. That's a subject that we've covered a lot on the programme, and we can do so in the future. But what I do want to do is to try and understand the utterly devastating circumstances that various families find themselves in this very evening throughout the UK, because one of their number, maybe more than one, is addicted to a drug. What does that do to a family? What does that do to a mother, to a father, to a sibling, who by definition cannot understand exactly how their daughter, their son, their sibling has got themselves into this kind of circumstance? It can split apart a family, because I think very often, I'll be completely honest, I would not know what to do if a loved one of mine I found out was addicted to drugs. I simply wouldn't know where to turn. I probably would turn to a drugs charity, actually. That's probably what I would do. But I can't give you any personal insight into this, because I don't have any. And that's what I'm relying on you to do. But let's not just talk about individuals and individuals' families. Let's talk about neighbourhoods. What effect does drug usage have on neighbourhoods? It's not just the fact that you can sort of trip over a needle, or you see in a park the needles as a result of using drugs. It goes far deeper than that, doesn't it? It corrodes a neighbourhood. It corrodes a local society in ways that most of us can only really imagine, and probably hope we never have to find out if what we imagine is the truth.
You asked for some people to come on and speak about their family's personal experience with drug use. Now, yeah. I lost my brother in 2012 to an accidental drugs overdose when I was 13. I think it was when I was 13, and ever since, obviously, nothing has been entirely the same. It got me to engage with a charity called Drug Fan, which now, well, I'm no longer a young ambassador for due to my age, but I was at the time. And I believe that the whole issue around drug use is not just education, but it's the stigma around people that potentially have family that are embroiled with drug use, or people themselves that are embroiled with drug use, not feeling as if they can reach out for the support that they need to progress and kind of move away from that and get the support that they need and help to get off drugs.
As you said, nothing was the same again, and I think we can all completely understand that. But what effect did it have on you as a 13-year-old in terms of your own attitude to drugs?
To be honest, it completely changed, and in a way, I guess, with the state of the current world and the use and you know, schools and education and stuff, I don't think there's enough of it. And I think it was a blessing in disguise for myself, because it did change my outlook and enabled me to realise the consequences that they can have on not only my life but the lives of those around me at the same time. Now, I had quite a vast friendship group growing up, and obviously I educated all my friends and family and peers and things like that. I've done talks in schools, obviously explaining my first-hand experience and trying to educate. I've done as much as I can, but it has changed my outlook completely.
I mean, if there are 13, 14, 15-year-olds listening now, what would your message be to them?
To think before they make a decision, because the smallest decision in your life can impact it for a multitude of years, not only your lives, but the lives of those around you as well. And
obviously a hugely devastating thing to happen within your family, and I mean, the only positive that you could take from it was to do what you've done and try and educate people about the consequences of drug use and be an ambassador for the charity. But how have the other members of your family coped with what happened? And is it still, well, presumably, you never get over something like that?
No, of course. It's never something that I anticipate to get over, but you obviously, with any form of bereavement, I guess that losing someone to a drugs overdose is slightly different, but I guess you learn coping mechanisms and ways to not get over it, but to deal with the emotions that you're feeling. In terms of my family and the wider family, we all have the same outlook, which is just try and educate. We keep each other going. We've got a great, strong family unit, and I think that's something that's priceless, to be honest.
Well, James, thanks so much for your call tonight. Really important call to make. Thank you very much indeed. A text here says, my brother has been a heroin addict for all his adult life. He's now 47. He's been street homeless, been to prison, currently living in sheltered accommodation. He's never had a proper job. He only contacts my parents when he needs money. His whole life is built around being an addict. It's a lifestyle that no amount of encouragement will help him to leave. Heroin addicts live a parallel life to normal people. Their friends and support network are other users, and their life is built around either scraping money together to take heroin or being on heroin. He's essentially happy being like this. He doesn't have the same dreams or aspirations as other people. His only dream and drive is to make sure he has enough drugs. I just go to see him every few months to buy him breakfast and check he's okay. There really isn't anything else I can do. What a sad text that is. Can you imagine being in that situation where you feel, or maybe you know, there's nothing you can do to help your sibling apart from check up on him every few months?